Listen. I wanted to tell you, I think we was having a conversation about '80s cast of the Avengers, and somebody was saying, a couple people were saying Eddie Murphy should play Black Panther. I was just going to say out of nowhere, it came to my head, it should be LeVar Burton. I think LeVar Burton would have played a good Black Panther back then if they made Avengers back in the '80s. I didn't bring you into the conversation yet, but it was a couple people I had it with beforehand. We, in fact, discussed it a little bit, and we didn't record it yet. We were supposed to do it at the Comic Con, but we didn't make it. Technical difficulties and shit. You know how that go. And
Yeah.
if it come down to you picking an '80s cast to the Avengers movie, who would you fuck with? Honestly, what's that? What you going into deep thought, nigga? You going into deep thought, nigga? You gotta go into your Bible real quick and find out who the fuck you want to be in an Avengers movie. If it was made in the '80s.
Now your voice is louder.
Oh, you can hear. Okay, so now it's louder.
Yeah.
Oh, so you couldn't hear me. That's what it was.
Yeah, you're real low.
Oh, you know why? Because I was actually holding the wrong mic. That was my fault. I take responsibility for that. But no, I was saying if the Avengers were made in the '80s, a couple of people I talked to, we was bringing up different cast people, and everybody agreed on Eddie Murphy would have been the perfect. He was the biggest thing out in the '80s. He would have been the perfect Black Panther, and I agreed. I was like, yeah, you're right. But I just started realizing it don't have to be Eddie Murphy. I think LeVar Burton would have made a dope T'Challa.
That movie would have sucked if they made it in the 80s. That's like Spider-Man trying to be made in the 80s.
I think they had the wrong producers for that, but the Spider-Man wasn't as bad. I think they could have did it in the '80s. Looking at movies like Big Trouble in Little China and shit, I think they could have did something. It just had been weird as fuck because you got to catch him swinging and shit effectively. That's why my man Raimi did it right. He did it so it's cold. How he caught the different shots and had him swinging, had them stunt double swinging off of shit just to be swinging and catching it.
Yeah, but that's what everybody knows. Saying it was digitally done.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So he figured out a way to do it right. But I think I'm saying like the potential of shit that was going on back then, they could have did something. It just they would have to figure out how to catch those shots. They've been paying a lot of stunt people and taking them cameras to different angles that nobody has imagined before. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but being imagine how crappy you look, just like Superman flying back then.
Back then, you remember it was dope though. That's what that's what I'm saying. Like back
No,
then, it was dope.
It was a lack of options.
Right, it was a lack of options, so we had to deal with it, so we loved it. Now, listen, hold on, listen. Let me go through my list. I'm gonna go through my list. You tell me if you disagree or agree. But we made the list. Here go my list. Here go the Avengers for the '80s. Okay, the Hulk, Rick Moranis. Captain America, Rob Lowe. Iron Man, Tom Selleck. Thor, Dolph Lundgren. Submariner, Ernie Reyes Sr. Spider-Man, Michael J. Fox. Hawkeye, Christian Slater. Scarlet Witch, Gina Davis. Quicksilver, Crispin Glover. Vision, Jeff Goldblum. Black Widow, Demi Moore or Madonna. Panther, like I said, we said Eddie, but I'm going with LeVar Burton. Winter Soldier, Kurt Russell. And Hank Pym, we didn't pick him yet. But that's all we wrote so far. So
it sounded like you were just naming off an 80s version of Where Are They Now?
it's the same thing. It's the same cast. It's the exact same.
Rick Moranis.
It's the same thing. It's the exact same list.
Honey, whatever the kids.
Right. He said he ain't making no more regular movies. He made his buck movies through Disney. He don't got to work no more. He made like 5 movies with that franchise. He kept it going. I wonder how much
early 90s.
I wonder how much they gave him off of that.
Yes, and I would have. Oh, like I just can't imagine because you see what they did with Hulk. And I'm talking loose right now.
And back then, that was cutting edge. That was cutting edge. You cannot tell them that wasn't cutting edge.
Compared to the digital version.
Right.
And that was the best they could find.
Because you remember, this was before digital shit was even considered.
I know.
A thing. Like, people couldn't even imagine this, so people wasn't even using the term digital. Only person who was talking like that was sci-fi movies and shit. So people didn't even imagine what could be done with this technology. So this is what they came up with. Let's just change.
And even those look crappy.
Right. Let's just change the technology. Let's just change the actor. That's what they did, and that was kind of a good idea then. Which to me is kind of cool. Stunt doubles, I think, should still be a thing. But who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they are.
I'm saying,
to a certain extent.
The reason I said who knows is because this Alec Baldwin shit, a lot of shit may be cut back now. A lot of shit may not happen from now on.
That has nothing to do with a stunt double.
But that got to do with having shit on the set that you don't need. We don't need real guns. We don't need real. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't use animals no more. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm going with it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. And yeah, that's something different. But at the same time, it's going to be on some, okay, we don't need fake guns. Why do we need fake people acting like you? We can put your face on this. Or we could, change the whole background, how you jump off this van and look like you're jumping off in the Grand Canyon. Like, it's getting to that point with technology. It's getting to the point, there's apps out here that can perform certain shit. So if apps can do it, imagine what the software that's out there. It's probably some $5,000 software right now that's letting you do so much shit from your
but it's what it takes, because you gotta pay those digital artists.
Yeah, but
and they mentioned that like in the Matrix Revolutions.
Yeah, but if you weren't a digital artist, shit, you could start a team with your homeboys. You see what I'm saying? It ain't elite.
No, they are paying digital artists.
That's what I'm saying, but it's elite. I mean, it's not like elite no more. You could do it your own. Back in the day, I remember back in the day, the software was so limited. I remember that it was like $1,000 software, and then they made this software called Blender, which is still a thing, and I may end up re-downloading it. But Blender was a free software. It was made by the same people who did Neo Geo, because they felt like it was such horror, because back then it was like so corny. Remember you said that Lucas was trying to develop into it. So it's such a corny market, it wasn't accepted like that everywhere. And Neo Geo let it be open so you could make 3D shit. And you can use they renders and make video games and cartoons with it. But, yeah, it was like that. But now they got software. I just bought some software, and I'm looking at some more software because I'm considering making a game. But I've seen some software that costs $25 I might get. But I just bought some software. I already owned it, but I lost the passcode to it, okay? And the software was discontinued, so I had to find the software, but I ended up finding the bundle that came with. Not only did it come with, I got the animation software, and I got this one software called Motion Artist, in which you make your cartoon, your comic book, certain pages come to life. But then I got this animation one that came with it, and I got another one that do the digital rendering. Like it takes your characters, when you're making characters, it takes them to the next level. So I just got all this shit. So yeah, so we right now we are already producing the horror flick right now, but the next piece is going to be definitely animation. It's going to be a stop motion or it's going to be a 2D. I don't think I got the time or the money to pay a team. So that's what I was saying, yeah, paying a team is always an option, but at the same time, the teams are not paying themselves because you don't have to wait to get hired by a company no more. This is software and hardware is out here that's letting people become animators in their house. You see what I'm saying? I need a writer. So yeah, so this got to go down, so after the show it's more shit to talk about. But yeah, as far as the entertainment business, yeah. Back then the movie would have looked like shit watching it now, but for what it was, we probably would have been geeked if they would have just attempted to make an Avengers.
Yeah, but remember they made a Captain America movie.
And for the Captain America fans, I bet you that was it. I wasn't a Captain America fan. I'm still not. So you see what I'm saying? I never was a captain. I remember, if you remember this shit, and I know you do because you're the same age as me. I remember you was one of the people who had it because your mama was that type of woman who pumped up black dolls and black characters and black cartoon characters and shit. So it was a coloring book. I don't know who made it, but it was a character called Captain Africa. He had like these special bracelets. He was a prince. I don't know what happened to that concept or that idea or that logic. And then there was another thing. You probably
Nah,
don't.
I don't remember him. I remember Sunman's and.
I kind of don't remember that one, but I remember the Captain Africa. I remember for
No, it was a toy. It was a toy.
Okay.
Think about it as the black version of He-Man. And I think they had the order form in Jet Magazine.
Okay. So I don't remember
You
that.
can
So yeah.
explain the Jet Magazine what it was, but they originally had it in stores.
See, yeah, I remember another thing, and I'm still trying to find this one out here. It's like one of my low key dreams. But there's a comic book that came out back in the day, right? And it took place like in Detroit when the drugs was really bad. And it was a superhero. He was like our version of Superman, but he was from Detroit. I'm not sure if his name was Detroit Man or Captain Detroit. I swear to God. And like in the comic book, I remember it was showing you spots like Schoolcraft and Ewald Circle, Gratiot and stuff. Right. It was showing you Lewis's Belle. And the drawings was so epic. And the book was in black and white. And somehow whoever did this got a contract with DPS that every school in the city had a copy of that book. It was to the point that you had 2 or 3 copies to yourself. And like, cause I remember I had 1 copy and I used to love mine. And then I started realizing niggas was coloring in there. So I got another copy and was coloring it. And I was customizing mine. So it got to that point where there was so many out there. But when I first got it, I thought this was like epic. It was a brand new book just off the presses. And I just kept my shit with my books. I had a little book cabinet, you know what I'm saying? Then I see Eleanor niggas fucking they shit up. I'm like, why y'all fucking this book up? You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have kept it. Because I don't know who did the book, what the name of the book is, who the title of it is. Because I low-key want to revive that character. Or do a collaboration. But I don't know his name.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know his name. And I don't know nobody from DPS who was alive that still worked there who could remember it. If it's on record, it's before the internet and shit, so it's not on record. It's not like a website for it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And whoever was handling the accounts back then probably long dead. This was the Coleman administration, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So mostly all them niggas from that administration is in the dust right now, or about to be. You know, they on their last leg. The ones who made it through COVID. So yeah, it's real out here these days. So you know what I'm saying. So this was a dope book. So yeah, but with the technology. Back then, there's a lot of projects, especially the black ones, that could have been dope. Dealing with this digital shit and making shit.
Yeah, but what's the name of achieve that with Jim Henson's Creature Shop?
I heard Jim Henson got a show. Hold on, what's that sound? You hear it?
Yeah, the beeping.
You hear that? What's that? Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. What is that?
No, but
hold on.
There's a lot of stuff that people come up with that doesn't catch
that must have been
fire.
you. That was your crazy stuff. You got gas over there or something? That was you farting?
No.
Okay.
We haven't tested the fire.
But go ahead. What was you saying?
Smoke detectors yet.
What was you saying?
They like I heard they were gonna bring Ghost Rider back.
Okay, you talk about with Jamal?
Yes.
That was a show that was slept on, and I wouldn't mind that coming back. They brought back Carmen.
But
Carmen was on Netflix.
It was coming on PBS.
I remember that. Carmen at San Diego was on Netflix.
Which public broadcasting. So they were able to get it, and that was their only effect.
Well, stuff like that with public broadcasting, that's the good thing about them, is that they keep record of their shit. I wish this project I'm talking about now was on public broadcasting or something, because I could have found it. But yeah, Ghost Rider is one of them old projects that should be brought back. I can see it be brought, especially with this internet and shit. I can see it going deeper.
They are bringing it back.
Yeah, I can see it going deeper. I'm with it.
I don't think it's going to be on PBS, though.
Wait, Carmen Sandiego is on Netflix. That's what I was just saying. Carmen Sandiego is on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, though. I just seen I want to say I was on somebody's thing and I seen it pop up. I don't think it's giving you lessons, though. I think it's actually a show. I don't think it's like the old show when we.
Yeah,